breakthrough coming your way. It's a mighty move of God. It's gonna change your day. With signs and wonders.
About to establish their own righteousness. Friends, I want to tell you that the Bible says there's a way. God bless you, friends, and welcome to another edition of today's Issues from a Biblical Perspective. I'm your host for these remaining moments, Bishop William L. McCoy. Delighted to come into your homes, your places of business, wherever this broadcast is being televised. We thank you so much in advance for your time. We value and cherish your time, and it is our prayer that this broadcast would serve for your spiritual enrichment and for your spiritual edification and nourishment. Friends, I want to give you a few announcements first. First, we must announce to you that yes, we are still a thriving church, a going church for a coming Lord. And we want you to know, friends, that we are in transitionary period right now, and we are meeting every Sunday at Ballantyne Hall, and we're in room 013 at 12 o'clock every Sunday afternoon. Also, we are meeting for Bible class every Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock in the Neil Marshall building, which is on the IU campus as well. Both of these buildings, Ballantyne Hall and the Neil Marshall building, which is on Jordan, the Neil Marshall building is. And we're meeting in room 201, room 201. Now, for more information about anything that you would like to know concerning our very thriving, very vibrant, active youth group, which is called One Accord, under the leadership of Minister Jason Cummings and Dennis Cummings. If you want to know anything about my preaching engagements, like to know something about our church, my background, in my educational background, what we believe in, all of that information can be logged on www.anointedharvest.org. Again, www.anointedharvest.org. And if you would like to email me, you can give your comments, whether positive or negative criticisms. We accept all critique. We want to tell you, you can email me at ahfc7@aol.com. ahfc7@aol.com. God bless you, friends, and thank you so much for watching. Today's lesson, friends, that we think that's very, very critical and pivotal in today's society, and this is an issue we must discuss. We must discuss all the circumstances around this subject. Promised blessings. Promised blessings. Now, I know you hear so much about the blessings of the Lord, but I want to continue this series. I've talked about blessings before, but I want to continue this series, and you can, if you're following this series, following these lessons I've been giving, I want you to follow me and put an underline promised blessings, all right? I want to tell you, friends, that there's some things we need to discuss surrounding blessings. God wants you to be blessed, but at the same time, He wants you to understand that your blessings come with at least more than one of criterion that God expects you to measure up to. He wants you to understand that blessings don't just come from God. First of all, I should declare to you that blessings are not provisions. They're two different things. Provisions, all of us have. All of us breathe. All of us eat. Those of us that have a reasonable portion of health and strength. But I want to tell you that the blessings of the Lord, the ones that Proverbs talk about in 10:22, that makes rich and he had no sorrow with it, those blessings are not considered provisions. They're considered divine assignments from God that he intended for you to have before the beginning of the world. Those are blessings, things that complement divine assignments from God that he intended for you to have before the beginning of the world. And those only come with some prerequisites. Okay, let's get into our lesson. Look please with me at Leviticus chapter 26. Leviticus chapter 26, and it's in the Old Testament. It's the third book of the Bible, and I want you to look in between verses 1 and verse 6. All right? Leviticus chapter 26. Verse 1 says this: Ye shall not make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God. Let's pause right there. In other words, the prerequisite before we get to the blessing part, God said you cannot worship stones, idols, graven images, such as pictures, okay, chains around your neck. None of those things are to be worshipped. They're not to be placed in the position of God. Okay? Let's look at verse number 2. Another prerequisite. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence, watch this, my sanctuary. I am the Lord. That's understandable as well. He didn't just say keep Sunday, or the word keep there means to be holy on Sunday. But he said his Sabbaths, which are considered the Lord's day. The word Sabbath means the days of the Lord. But remember, Jesus said keep every day holy. So every day the Lord has given you, you're supposed to be holy. We don't just get holy on Sunday. We're supposed to be holy 7 days a week. And remember, he also said that you must reverence his sanctuary. So that means pay respect to his church. Your house is not his sanctuary. Your lodge is not his sanctuary. Yes, friends, I didn't write it. This is what's written. I want to tell you, friends, that your family gatherings are not his sanctuary. Your private prayer meetings, home meetings with people, that's not his sanctuary. His sanctuary is his house, a place that's dedicated unto him. Now, if you have a house, if you're just starting a church and you have a house where people are meeting and you're having meetings and you're having wonderful time in the Lord there, those are his sanctuary. But just a place to dwell is not his sanctuary. All right, let's look at verse number 3. I'm still in Leviticus chapter 26. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, let's pause there. You got to walk, you got to keep, and you got to do. That means you got to consistently, walk represents consistent behavior. In order to get from point A to point B, if you're walking, you have the right foot and the left foot has to consistently be in motion. All right? And then when he says keep, that means preserve. That means never ever fail to keep his commandments and his statutes. Okay? As I told people all the time, the difference between statutes and commandments, statutes are those personal commands that God gives you, that he doesn't give anybody else. Commandments represent the word of the Lord. And he said you got to do them. Let's look at verse number 4. Then, God says, will I give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield her fruit. All of these are metaphors to let you know that God said, don't worry about it. There will come a season where you will receive your blessings in due season. Don't get discouraged. It will come when God's ready for it to come. Okay?